Have you ever seen big cats and cold-blooded reptiles living under the same roof? At Prague Zoo, there are two lions in love, a fossa pretending to be a cat, and an iguana that honestly looks like an alien. Let's go check out this bizarre little place I call the Big Cats and Cold-Blooded Roommate's House. This place is definitely a bit of a genre mashup. I mean, big cats and reptiles? Not exactly your typical roommates. But hey, somehow it works. The reptile side is actually pretty awesome, especially that giant eco-atrium in the middle. Now that's what I call reptilian luxury. But compared to that, the indoor enclosures for the big cats feel, well, kind of basic. A bit cramped too. Classic signs of an older exhibit, and yep, this place has them. Thankfully, the outdoor areas are decently spacious, so if the cats aren't vibing with the indoors, they can always stretch their legs outside. Let's kick things off with a bird's eye view. Check out that roof. Pretty stunning, right? I bet the architects had the view from the surrounding hills in mind when they designed it. Now, the lions here aren't your usual African lions. These are the much rarer Asiatic lions. Technically, they're not a separate species, just a subspecies, but they do look noticeably different. I'll put them side by side for you. Let's play a little game of spot the difference. On the left, we've got the Asiatic lion from Prague. On the right, the African lion from Berlin. See that vertical fold of skin along the belly of the Asiatic lion? That's the giveaway. African lions don't have that. Of course, there are other differences too, but this one's the easiest to spot. Congratulations! You've just added another completely random piece of trivia to your brain. Asiatic lions are pretty rare in zoos, and even rarer in the wild. The IUCN's 2016 assessment estimated fewer than 3,000 mature individuals left. They're also known as Indian lions and are found only in one place, the Gir National Park in Gujarat, India. That makes India one of the very few countries with both tigers and lions roaming around. The two lions here were actually born in a zoo in India. The male is named Jamvan, and the female is Suchi. These two are total sweethearts, always cuddling, grooming, hanging out like they've been best friends forever. The Prague Zoo is home to 3 subspecies of tiger. Pretty impressive, right? The Amur tiger, aka Siberian tiger, isn't in this part though. You'll find that one up in the northern forest section. Over here, it's all about the Malayan and Sumatran tigers. In European zoos, Amur tigers are the most commonly kept, followed by Sumatran tigers. Malayan tigers? Now those are seriously rare, basically unicorn-level rare in Europe. Tigers as a whole are endangered, but these two subspecies, the Malayan and Sumatran, are both critically endangered. They're also the smallest of all living tiger subspecies, compact, but still 100% tiger. There's not a whole lot to say about their indoor enclosures. Same story as with the Asiatic lions. A bit basic, just the usual setup. But the outdoor space is decent in size, so they've got room to roam. I didn't spot a pool for the tigers though, which feels like a missed opportunity. That said, it looks like the zoo has a rainwater collection system in place. I saw water being drained into this area during a downpour. Guess it doubles as a mini enrichment feature on rainy days. Not exactly a tiger spa, but hey, enrichment is enrichment. I used to spot a clouded leopard here and even managed to snap some photos, but on my last visit, it was nowhere to be seen. Not sure if it moved to another part of the zoo or left entirely. But hey, in its place, there's now a new resident that's equally cool, the fossa. This creature is wild. When it's half asleep, it totally reminds me of Beerus, the god of destruction from Dragon Ball. You know that I could destroy a planet, but right now I'm napping vibe. Now, Beerus was inspired by a cat, but here's the plot twist. The fossa isn't a cat, and it's not a mongoose either. It actually belongs to the Eupleridae family, a group of carnivores found only in Madagascar. You might remember its cousin, the ring-tailed mongoose, which we saw back in Berlin. Yep, same extended family. Remember in the movie Madagascar, when all the lemurs were terrified of that one predator? That was based on the fossa, and for good reason. Fossas are the top predators on the island and are really into lemurs. Almost half of their diet is just various kinds of lemur. The Prague Zoo actually has 2 subspecies of leopard cat, and the one we're looking at now is the Amur leopard cat. It's noticeably bigger than its southern cousin. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to catch a glimpse of the Palawan leopard cat, the southern one. Would have been fun to do a side-by-side comparison, but no luck this time. In theory, this building is also home to fishing cats and Jeffroy's cat, but I've never seen them. At first I tried to hunt them down, but eventually I gave up. They're just really good at hiding, or maybe part-time ninjas, who knows? Now the cheetahs aren't inside this house. They've got their own separate outdoor enclosure. However, during my long tour, they only appeared once or twice. Let's head back inside the building and check out the reptiles. The biggest and the most beautiful part of the reptile house is the Central American iguana exhibit right in the atrium. This lush space is home to two main species, the green iguana and the Cuban ground iguana. Cuban ground iguanas seem to be absolutely thriving here. Not only do they rule this main exhibit, but I spotted them in at least 2 other enclosures as well. Clearly, the zoo's got a pretty successful breeding program going for them. Now, I think this next one is a Cuban slider, but full disclosure, I'm no reptile expert. I'm mostly relying on the exhibit signs here. There's also the lesser Antillean iguana, another species from the Caribbean Central America region. You won't find them housed with the green iguanas though. Apparently they can interbreed. So the lesser Antillean iguana gets its own private suite. VIP treatment? And just next to the atrium, I spotted a plumed basilisk. And wow, that thing is stunning. Such a vibrant green, it looks like someone cranked the saturation up to 200%. Absolutely gorgeous. Overall, I'd say the reptile exhibits are much better designed than the big cat areas. You can tell a lot more thought went into them. They feel more intentional, more immersive. What I really appreciate is that the reptile zones are organized by ecosystem. Besides the lush Caribbean-themed atrium, there's also a Central Asian desert zone, which is also really well done. Each area has its own vibe, and you get a sense of the animals' natural habitats. Not just tanks and enclosures, but actual mini ecosystems. Much more engaging than just lining animals up by species.